Hey everyone, I wanted to create a short video because recently I've been seeing a lot of business owners being discouraged by WordPress because they are intimidated by the fact that you need to do updates on your website every so often. And I wanted to create this video to debunk the misconceptions that it takes a long time and that it's a lot of work to go through, because this shouldn't be a reason why you don't build your business website on the industry standard for website building. So I want to do a quick overview of the dashboard if you're not familiar with WordPress already. If you look on the left hand side, you'll see all of these tab options, and what I love in comparison to other web building platforms is that if you hover over these options, you'll see even more settings within each tab, and you don't have to question or wonder where a certain setting is or how you're supposed to find something that you need to change in your website. If you hover over anything, you can see all of the settings that you'll need, and it makes it completely easy to work with. So now that you have this small overview, let's dive into what it takes to update your website. And to help, I created a free downloadable bi-weekly maintenance checklist, and you can see all the steps that I take to update my website as well as my clients. And if you look at the steps, it looks like there's quite a bit to do, but it doesn't take long at all, and most of these you just check visually, or they take just one click of a button and you're done. So this checklist makes it easy, and I recommend doing updates twice a month to keep your website secure from hackers and to keep it optimized, and you're cleaning out content so it's faster for your viewers as well as search engines. So let's start with the very first step, which is to create a manual backup of your website. Now, if you have an awesome host like SiteGround, who I recommend and use myself, they create free backups daily for you automatically. But before I make any kind of change, as in an update or changing out content on my website, I like to create a manual backup in case I need to restore it quickly myself from the WordPress dashboard. So to do that, I'll go to my settings and click the Updraft Plus Backups. And this is the plugin that I recommend using for your backups because it's free and it makes it super easy to back up your website with just the click of a button. So I'll hit that backup now, and I'll make sure that it's including a copy of my entire website's database and all the files in this backup. And I'll hit backup now, and you'll see that it's starting to work and create the backup or copy of all of your files to save. And depending on the size of your website, it could take a little over a minute, as bigger websites obviously have more files and take more work to create a backup of. So my website has over 50 pages, posts, and products, and it'll take a little bit longer, but as you can see, it still didn't take super long at all to back up. And after the backup is complete, I'll want to just confirm down here that today is February 12th and it is 11:04 a.m. and a backup was successfully created. Now that that is complete, I will check off that task. Next, we will update the plugin. And it's important that we do the plugins first before the theme or the WordPress core. So instead of going to plugins and looking individually to the plugins here, I'm going to click this swirling arrow button instead to show me everything that needs updating in my website rather than just the individual items. So here you can see these are everything that needs updating in my website. I have 3 plugins and 1 theme that needs to be updated. So go back to my list and we'll go ahead and update these plugins. And now they are updated. So I'll go back to the updates page and just confirm all plugins are up to date. So we will check off this sub item here. Now after the plugins are updated, I'm going to clear the website cache. And this is because I need to delete the copy of my website that was saved by the browsers. Every browser saves a copy of a website once it loads, so it doesn't have to keep loading it every single time you visit it in case you visit a website multiple times. And it'll automatically be cleared on its own, but when I make an update, I need to clear the cache to make sure no errors are appearing after the updates have been made. So we cleared the cache, and now we're going to check the website for any errors. And I recommend checking your most popular or most important pages for updates. because if you have a large website like myself, it's hard to check every single page that you have on your website if any errors are occurring. So I check the most frequently visited, and I'll go through some of the more intense functions that are on my website to make sure they are displaying as they should. So homepage seems to be working properly. Next I'll go to my web design page because that's the most frequently visited. And everything seems to be displaying fine. Buttons are working properly. Next I'll go to my blog just to make sure that the posts are displaying as they should and that the buttons are working as well. Everything is displaying as it should. Next I'll go to my shop and make sure the checkout button is working. Add to cart. View the cart. Everything's loading quickly and as it should. So I don't see any errors there, and I will check off that task. Next, if no errors occur, I'll move on to the next step, and there aren't, so we're done with plugins. Now I'm going to update my theme. So here we'll just go ahead and update the theme. And now that it's updated, we'll check off that task and go ahead and again clear the cache. Because since you made a huge change after you cleared the cache last time, it could be possible that some errors are occurring after the theme updates. So again, I don't often see these kind of bugs or errors occurring, but it's always best to just double check just to make sure. And I'll go through those same pages that I took a look at before. Everything is looking as it should. Blog, and I'll click another blog post this time. Make sure the buttons are working and loading properly. And they are. And shop, I will add another item to the cart. Loading quickly. No errors occurring, and great. So now we are complete with these steps for updating the theme. No errors, and check that off. Next is the WordPress software. Now WordPress gets its own updates to the software every so often, probably a few times a month. These are more robust changes, and I recommend maybe doing the WordPress software updates once a month instead of twice, just to make sure that all the kinks are worked out in the updates. And you'll see that my update button is missing, so I'll just hover over dashboard and updates because everything has already been updated on my website, and you can see that I have the latest version of WordPress already installed. So I'm just going to check that it's already updated. I don't need to clear the cache because no updates were made, no errors are showing. And if there was an error, I'll show you the steps that you would take to restore your website. So if you did have an error, something was looking funky on your website, say the buttons were all messed up or just something weird was appearing, you could go back into your Updraft Plus backups and you would hit this restore button from your most recent backup. Now from here, if you know what has been causing the error, like say your website is actually showing an error at the top of your website that tells you this file has a mess up on the line in the code, you can restore everything or individually. So if I hit that restore button, it's going to restore my website to what it was exactly before I started making updates. And this is the reason why I create a manual backup before I make any kind of plugin, theme, WordPress, or even page edits and updates. So if I deleted something by accident, if an error occurs, I can easily restore my entire website. And so after I restore, and if I have an idea of what is causing the issue, I can update everything except for what is causing the issue. And I can wait about a week or so before updating it again because the developers should be working on a fix. And if you're still seeing issues, you can contact the developer for the plugin or theme and see what's going on and how to fix it. But If it makes it easier and you don't know what is causing the issue, you can just restore the entire website and wait on your updates until a later date. So now that our website is completely updated, we're going to go through and clean out unnecessary content. And the first thing that I do is to delete spam comments. So I'll go to my dashboard here, and I have the Akismet plugin installed, which protects your website against spam comments. And as you can see, it's protected my website against about 60 spam comments. And right now there's nothing in my spam queue, but I'm going to go ahead and double check just to make sure there isn't anything I need to delete. And since there isn't, I'll go ahead and check off that sub item. Next, we're going to delete any unused plugins and themes. In your website, you should only have plugins installed if they are currently activated on your website. If they're not, you need to clear those out because they'll often need updates, and if you're not staying on top of those, they can create back doors where hackers can get into your website. So it's important to keep your website updated every so often to keep it secure. And if you'll look here, everything that has the light blue tint to it in the background is an activated plugin. So I'll look at everything, make sure I'm using every single one of these plugins, and since I am, I don't need to delete anything or remove anything. And now we'll look at the themes. If you go to Appearance, you'll see themes there. And you can see that I have the Divi theme installed and this child theme of Divi only installed. I don't have any other theme like the 2017 or 2018 automatic default themes installed. So we'll go on and check those off. Next, we will delete the page and post revisions and trash old pages and posts. So I highly recommend the WP Optimize plugin, which is an extension of the Updraft Plus. And if I scroll down here, you'll see WP Optimized on the side here. And I'm going to click Database. And I can run all of these optimizations to my website to clean it up and remove anything that I don't need in the website. And you can see that I can take another backup here, but I'm just going to go ahead and run it without another backup. And it takes just a few seconds to clean out your website and optimize it so it's running faster and more efficiently, which is great for search engines. It does take a little bit more time because it's going through all of the tables in your database which build your website and the structure, and it's just cleaning them up and optimizing them again for speed. So now that you see that all of that is clean, I'll go ahead and check that, and now all the unnecessary content is cleared out. And for website maintenance, you're pretty much done. So unless you have any updates that you want to make to your on-page content, you don't have anything else that needs to be done on your website. And that took not that long at all. And if you do that twice a month, your website will be nice and secure, and you don't have to worry about any hackers getting in. And it's going to run more smoothly, which is great for search engines. If you want to download a copy of my bi-weekly maintenance checklist, you can sign up to receive access to my full small business resource library. And if you just click the freebies button on my website here, it will take you to a password protected page, which I'll send you the password to once you sign up. And you get to see all the awesome content that I provide to my subscribers, and even the exclusive content, and the website maintenance checklist is right here, and you can just click that to download the link directly to your computer. I also have a full web design checklist that's 13 pages worth of steps that you can take to optimize your website for security, speed, search engines, and building pages that are appealing to your target audience. And if you're one of my subscribers, you can actually grab this for 70% off, which is only $3 and about the price of a cup of coffee. So if you're on my email list, I'll send you the link to grab this for 70% off, and you can see everything that you'll be getting in this web design checklist and all the steps that I take on my own website as well as my clients when I build them and optimize them completely. I hope that helps, and let me know if you have any questions or get in touch with me, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Bye!